Hello, hello. Hey, you guys. Good to see you. Hi,
Hey, Randy.
everyone. Good evening and welcome
Randy.
to the VOMastery free live Zoom webinar number, I don't know, is this 7 maybe? I think 8, could be number 8. We've been doing them for a while. And it's always fun to come every Wednesday and talk to you guys about VOMastery and some of the pros that come by the house and those who are involved with VOMastery that are looking forward to October 27th and 28th. There are so many presenters and coaches that we have that we can't even get everyone on in the webinar every week. And I don't like to cut people off. So like to stack like 4 people in a webinar isn't fun for me. I like to spend a little more time really talking. Tonight we have Bob Merkel, the voice Zam man, the man with the Zam. And we have Mark Grau. I'm so excited. He will be checking in from Casa Grau. He is going to talk to us about some of the things he has planned for us at VOMastery when he comes aboard to lead the video game and animation presentation. And by the way, one of the things that we're doing every week, every presentation during the course of VOMastery is to have at least 2 or 3 people read live in front of the room. And then we're going to be giving away prizes for that best live read. And so we're bringing judges aboard, voiceover artists who are pros, they are coaches, and they will be in the room, and not necessarily the same ones that will be on the stage presenting. Putting this whole thing together with Show Vita has been quite the task. You know, this is our 3rd year doing it together. It's VOMastery's 4th year. And every year we've learned more and more about what you guys want and what you're looking for when you come to a conference. And one of the things, well, some of the things that we get from you for sure are that you do love the size of VOMastery, that it gets to feel like it's inclusive as well as exclusive. And so that's probably the coolest part about VOMastery, that all of our pros and master coaches that come through, you'll actually have a chance to connect with them. And if you're taking a master class with them, that's going to give you an hour and 45 minutes working in a semi-private situation. Oh, I'm so excited. So on October 11th, sort of jumping forward a few weeks, we are going to be broadcasting live from doing our webinar from Media City Sound, which is owned by Alan Ett. Alan Ett is a composer, a musician who does a lot of work. Am I coming out okay? Yeah. It's sounding good enough? Okay, thanks, Reen. You look so pretty. We're going to go over there and interview Alan Ett and talk about his studio and how he came to be this. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at Media City Sound Studios, but as a composer and the amount of music that he and other composers that go through Alan Ett Music have placed in film and television is astounding. So, and you can sample all of their music tracks. They have some really nice tracks. We used them in our promos last year. And so Alan Ett will be with us, and that night on October 11th, we'll be joined at Media City by Joe Cipriano. So looking forward to that in a few weeks. But tonight we have Bob Merkel and we have Mark Grau coming on in a little bit. We were asking you, oh, and tonight we're going to give away a ticket. Between now and 7 o'clock, someone will win a ticket to VOMastery. And I see we don't have a lot of people in the chat right now. You do have to be present to win. So that's the one thing. So that's why everyone that's in the chat is totally, or in the Zoom, is totally eligible. We were looking for some questions, and I guess I should open up my chat box. So thank you. My mic sounds good. I appreciate that. Let me go to the top of it. Hi, Bobby. Hi, Reen. Karen. You're in Northern California, but currently in LA. Yeah, you come here a lot, Karen. It's always good to see you. Bobby Sheldon. Heather Foster. Hi, you're from Houston. Oh my goodness. Where are you, Heather? You're in the chat? I would love to hear from you. Tell me what happened to you in Houston. Are you here, Heather? Talk to us. Tell us what's going on.
I'm running a bath. I'm so sorry. It's bath time.
For you or for the kids?
Well, not for me. Later. For my kiddos. I'm not in Central Time Zone, so it's a little later. I'm okay. Here's my little nugget. Hello.
Hi. Oh my God. He's not too gorgeous.
Our neighbor, just 2 streets over, just desolate. It is crazy. So my community is Kingwood, Texas. And it was just, I don't know how many businesses have been wiped out, families, neighborhoods. So we're rebuilding. We're going to be great. So I'm good. But thank you for asking. I'm glad thanks for doing this. I love it.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. So
Okay, I'm going back to, I'll be here.
Don't
I'm
finish that
listening.
bath time.
Okay, thanks
Good
guys.
to see you, Heather.
You too.
All right. So do you have questions? Do you have questions about voiceover? Something you're struggling with? Something you're looking forward to? Who do I see in here? Oh, Geoff, how are you? Geoff is always on the road. He's always traveling. He lets me know occasionally when he's going to tune into our Zoom, but he was a VOMastery attendee last year, and we certainly hope we're going to see you again. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Excellent. Hang on, I can't hear you. Let me.
It's going to be close. I don't think I can make it.
Oh, okay. Well, where are you tonight?
I'm in Missouri now, but they're talking about sending me to Florida to help out after that hurricane. So I may go down there. Yeah, I'm bummed out, but I mean, I'm good. I'm going to help people, but I really want to be there. I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you'll be watching our webinars. We've had some great coaches on, and
You want to hear my choo-choo?
hear your choo-choo. Well, I want you to talk about what did you like about VOMastery last year?
Well, it kind of woke me up. I've always wanted to do voiceovers. I've been in music and everything else, and it's just definitely a must. I'd do it every day if I could.
There you go. Right.
But it taught me a heck of a lot. It's like I had no idea. I always say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be a voiceover." There's a lot to it.
Well, that's just it, because you do an amazing choo-choo. You want to do it for us?
Sure.
He gets me every single time. Thank you. That's fantastic. So
Awesome.
but that's what Geoff does. And then we realized that, this is how, when you can do that, it's a great start, but doing a sound effect is not going to get you a career. You really have to study and develop the characters. And develop your talent so that you can do this, at a moment's notice. But you do slay with that choo-choo. So, sorry, I'm getting distracted here. So, well, thank you, Geoff. I do hope we see you. If not, stay tuned, because we're always providing good education.
I mean, I'd love to make it there, but it's going to be so close.
All right. Well,
if I win a free ticket, yeah, I'll definitely be there.
Okay. Well, let's see. You have a shot tonight. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to move forward. Thanks for coming here. All right. I don't know how to mute you. So is he muted now? Mm-hmm. Great. Excellent. Well, thanks. Good talking to you. I don't see Bob Merkel. Is he in the chat yet?
We'll check on Bob, but Rena has a question. Is it
sure? Let me see. Hi, Reen. Why don't you unmute so that we can actually talk and you don't have to type a question?
There you go.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Great.
Good. I was just curious, as I start reaching out for business and trying to build up with union type work, is it better to reach out to casting directors and producers and try to get on their rosters first? Or is it better to try to get in with union type agents that have more primarily union work? And of course, I'm not in LA. So given that,
right.
And I'm looking primarily at video games and in-show TV narration.
Okay. Well, this is definitely a Mark Grout question, because that's the area that he definitely excels in. And when you're not here reaching out to the producers, sometimes, I don't know, because I know that a big part of that type of work, you kind of really have to be here to do it. As far as getting more union work, obviously franchise talent agents are going to help you do that. But there are agents that are getting union and non-union, correct? Are you repped by one of those that sees any of the union castings?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah,
you do.
I have a couple agents. I have 3 agents, and they all see union or non-union, but most of the work that they are representing is non-union work.
Right, because that's where most of the talent is,
Yeah.
And the buyers are not willing to pay what it would require to go union. So that's a tough call, but I know that there are a specific list of producers, specific people you have to go after in that video game world. And I don't live in it, but Mark does. So maybe we can talk to him about that in a little bit. But I applaud you for the union and making a go of it, because that's going to be key to the longevity of your career. I've been hearing some of your latest work, and you just keep getting better and better. I love how your 416 is looking in that wow, very cool, looking really good. And I know that you are an actor that will definitely be making that, that fork is going to come up, and you're going to go, well, should I go all union, or should I still try to, live both worlds? And
Well, I can't live both worlds. I'm a full union member. I'm not a SAG eligible.
Right. But of the non-union work, if they were to pay you enough to turn the job union.
Oh, well, yeah, to turn the job union. Yeah. And actually, I'm up for one of those right now.
Oh, great.
And they went back and they increased their thing. And so we're kind of now just trying to figure out to setting dates and stuff. So, but yeah, that actually flipped from
I love that
small amount of money to a much larger amount of money. So
was this due to your negotiation skills to be able to get them to bring up the offer, or had they auditioned several people and they just keep coming back to you and now they've got to make it work? How does that?
More of the latter, because I had worked for them before on a project, and I was non-union at the time, and it was a particular character.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't just like a commercial. I was a particular character named Linda.
Mm-hmm.
And so they wanted to do another thing with Linda again, but they wanted to pay this much amount of money. So I got my agent involved.
Linda.
Yes, I got my agent involved, and then first they came back and they still tried to pay me this much. And he said, "Are you willing to walk away?" And I said, "Yes." Yeah.
Wow.
And so then a couple of days later, about 4 or 5 days later, they came back again and said they got increased budget.
Woo!
Yep. And so now we just I gotta understand that paperwork. Hopefully they won't, I won't lose them in the path to trying for them to be able to do it.
Right. I understand exactly what you're saying, but I have to applaud you, because this is the position that we tell talent they must take in order to stand up for themselves, in order to get the money they deserve. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you did it, you were willing to walk away from what was probably a fine paying job, mm-hmm. but because you needed it to be union and you needed to stand your ground, the fact that they came back to you is it says everything about you.
Oh, thanks.
So really, I mean, do that more often. It'll keep happening for you.
Okay,
I see
great.
that for sure. Hi, Susan Wise. How are you? Hi, Karen. So Adam Sharp, nice to see you as well. You did a great job. Why does that come up? Adam, when we did, wait, I'm trying to remember the script. It was the radio imaging script. Yeah. So Bob Merkel, that's right. That was
just seeing if it still worked now. That's
it
all.
Does, and now
Okay.
you can pop in at any time.
There we are. Okay, thanks.
So has everyone seen the latest VOMastery promo that we put together? Oh, good.
Yes, so it's really good.
Let me see if I can figure this out. Share screen. I'm hitting desktop, right? Mm-hmm. Share screen. Then
just open up that window that we minimized.
Why is this? Can you come here? Because I don't know what this is. Why is that coming up?
Where did you put it, Carson?
He said it's pastable.
It's in the minimized window down there.
Right here.
Oh, just hit play and then hit.
How about
and
the
then
audio?
Hit full screen.
How about the audio?
Yeah, they should. Yeah, goes with the audio because someone turn off the mic.
Okay, there, and then make that go big.
Oh, okay.
Whoops, this is old.
Yeah, no. Where'd that come from?
That is weird. That is so weird. Wait, that's last year.
That promo was great too.
I know it was, but what the heck? Here it is. Sorry. Got it.
I turned our mic off over video as well.
I'm not hearing anything. Is there sound?
I'm not hearing the sound. Hey, he's cool. James Arnold Taylor rules.
Whoops, we're starting it again. What happened? I was hearing it.
Said they're not hearing it.
Might have to start over
Yeah.
and
good.
turn the volume up.
Interesting.
Is my thing on?
Yeah, we're hearing you.
Oh, crud. My bad. Let me mute that. Let me mute that, please.
Take two.
I'm gonna share us for just a second. Go back to. Mm-hmm.
So it's only going through the Scarlet. That's
Mm-hmm. Just need to be able to.
So let the audience know that we're just doing a lesson on home.
yeah, we're
check.
figing this out. So
This is all
again,
intentional.
it's another let's learn how to do Zoom with Randy Thomas. Here we are.
We might go back over to the go-to meetings.
Can you tell us, give me a thumbs up if you hear anything.
Or a thumbs down if you don't.
No,
Okay. That's
they
what I
don't
figured.
appear to be hearing it.
One more time. Try this.
Here's my question.
Shit.
Can't one
There
of
we
you
go.
guys
Okay, we
do it?
got it.
Okay,
We got
good.
it.
All right, let's see if this works. Why should you attend VOMastery 2017? Take your career to the next level. This event will change the trajectory of your VO career.
Overarchingly, it was just such a phenomenal experience for me. I really can't recommend it enough.
You're invited to VO Mastery 2017. It's our 4th annual VO Mastery event, October 27th and 28th at the Sportsman's Lodge Hotel in Studio City, California. This unique event is for devoted individuals ready to take their careers to the next level and beyond.
Don't do it for money. Don't do it for success. Don't do it to feed your ego. Do it because it's the only thing you want to do in life that feels right. Do it because you make people happy when you do it. Do it because it's fun, because it is the funnest job in the world.
Our networking opportunities are unlike any other voiceover event you will experience or attend. Go to VOMastery.com right now and grab your seat. Our main event is Saturday, October 28th from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m.
VOMastery is a great event because whether you're an aspiring talent or a working talent already, you're going to find information here that will elevate your career. And very simply, I'm a business guy. It'll help you make more money.
You can audition and be cast for real jobs. Get one-on-one expert advice by working with a top LA agent. Create a better demo with in-studio recording sessions.
VOMastery is something that Randy Thomas puts together, and it really brings all the best people in the voiceover arena into one place. So if you're looking to get into voiceover, this is the place to come.
With limited seating, time is truly of the essence. Act now, register, and reserve your seat today. VOMastery brings you the best in the business: technology, casting, marketing, the business of voiceover, how to do character acting, how to win and book a job, how to do live announcing and wind up doing the Oscars or the Emmys. It's all right here at VOMastery. Go to VOMastery.com right now and grab your seat. All right, there you go. I'm going to stop sharing.
Awesome.
I'm glad you liked it. I'm sure you saw yourself in there, Jess Massey.
I love the
You
grab your
guys.
seat. That was good.
Wait, make it stop. Make it stop. It wants to play again. Okay. Whoa. All right. So that was fun. So there's my little promo. Yeah, it's so funny. Last year, Carson and Jack just met, but every time I see them, and I see them every week, they're together, like frickin' frack. And then the shot that we have of them at VOMastery, there they are standing together.
We're the tallest guys there.
I guess. Yeah. That is that weird being one of the tallest guys?
No, that's why we gravitate together.
Yeah. They seem to move, it's like zebra, they have to move together so that they look like they're the same. They can't see where one ends and the other begins.
Strength in numbers and height.
Right. So I thought we had Bob Merkel in, and I know if Mark Grau is here, we could talk to him. I don't want to keep Mark waiting. So if we have either of these guys, let's double check. Let me check my texts, make sure no one has texted me. So let me check my email. Sorry, I have you guys had a chance to go and look at the website and the classes and whatnot? Have you had a chance to see what that looks like? Because I have to tell you, figuring out how to do the master classes so that if you're in Sportsman's Lodge watching, that you're not going to miss certain things while you walk over to Media City Sound to do your master classes. And basically it's like landing planes at LAX is kind of the way we figured it. And we've worked it all out, hoping that there are no two master classes that most people would feel like, oh, I want to take this, and they're at the same time only. So we're trying to sort out the schedule, make it work for everyone that wants to attend. And hopefully we're zeroing in on the areas that are of most importance, which is promo, commercials, video games, animation, radio imaging with Kelly Doherty, Kelly, live announce with yours truly, dialect and accents with Eliza. Who else do we have? We've got Alyssa Weinzimmer with vocal health. She is an incredible expert. And the thing I love about Alyssa is that she's such a health nut herself, that any advice she's giving you, these are things that she does for herself. I am looking, let me write Mark and let him know we are on. He's so funny. I've known Mark for a very long time. He did my actual first, he did my first demo ever, really, my first professional demo. I was on the radio working as a DJ, and I was chosen to do the Academy Awards. So it was my first live big show. And that's when I left radio to become a voiceover artist full time. And I remember driving by his studio on Burbank Boulevard, and it said voiceover recording. And I had never seen a studio with a sign like that. Most are just, the studio's name. No one ever says voiceover. So I found my way in there, and we've been friends for a very long time because he was amazing, not only as a coach and a producer and a studio owner, but of course his own talent has taken him to incredible levels. We have the same representation. We're both with Atlas Talent, and he is doing fantastic. And in fact, he's doing so well that he doesn't even have to go to the studio every day. There he is.
Who is it?
Marcus Grauis.
I should never have said who is it.
The dog answered.
I apologize. I have a special needs dog. Okay.
Oh, yes. It's especially needs you, Mark.
Nah, she's a sweetie. Hello, Molly. I saw the picture of your beautiful dog. This is
I know.
Rescue. She's a sweetie.
I feel like our dogs would get along well.
Probably so. They're both huge.
And they are.
Oh, it's good. How is everybody? How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well.
Everybody's good. We've got Carson
Fantastic.
here. Excellent. Thanks for chiming in, you guys.
Doing great, Mark.
Doing awesome. Yeah.
Great to be here.
Good to see you, Mark.
Yeah, it's good to see all you guys. I apologize for jumping in here late. It's been one of those
busy sessions.
You know. Well, the terrible thing was I got stuck for jury duty last week. And for those of you who don't know how that works, they give you a summons, then you're on call, and you have to call every night. So I've been doing this. Cartoon Network. So let's just see. Do I want to work for Double Scale or go to jail?
Which one is it?
So, well, thankfully, I skated through last week, all week, except for Thursday. And then you have to call ahead and they tell you whether you're doing it. They said, yes, you now have to appear, except now what do they have? To Norwalk.
Oh, geez.
Which is a hotbed of excitement, obviously. Anyway, lo and behold, go through all of this stuff, and the judge, it's a very special, high-profile case. It was Judge Ito.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my God.
I'm sitting on my hands going, don't say it. Don't do it. Don't make OJ jokes.
No.
Anyway, so I think, I don't know, I had to go through the entire process, and then I went and put my sales shoes on and was like, yeah, I'm a starving voiceover guy and I can't do it. They're talking about a high-profile case that would last 6 to 8 weeks, possibly 12. I don't know for a fact, but I think it was Suge Knight.
Ooh.
And it was like, well, yes, I want to get involved with large, bald, sweaty black men.
No, you don't want to be on the downside of any hip hop.
But I just was, letting it all go, please. And then I dropped, all these people were saying, well, I can't make, yes, I have a felony on my record, for Grand Theft Auto. And so I said, well, I've never stolen a car. I was in the gang. And then it's, well, what else have you done? And I went, and then rattled off some shit, and then went to Alaska State Troop. Oh, I like that show. And it was like,
oh, that's funny. That's how you got out of it, right, Mark?
That was basically it. Yes, being full of shit paid off. No, it didn't.
It's true, and it's a quality that we have all developed to some degree, and I think that's what brings us right here.
Well, absolutely. There is a modicum of that. The thing is, honestly, is just not to get bogged down. A copy, especially with all of us at home when you are auditioning, it's a bear because you're self-directing. Engineering, that all comes in secondly, obviously, because it has to be clean and that. But we will always be our worst critics, and you'll do 28 takes, and I don't like how I slated my name.
Right. Oh God.
I just kind of need to just let it go, and I call it road mapping copy. Basically, the direction on copy sometimes is great, but realize that unless it's a very precise, like we're looking for a George Clooney voice match, the direction is, I love it when they've got, 3 different YouTube links and they're all, it's like, we want Jim Carrey's comedy timing, but a voice like William H. Macy, but kind of, and it's like, who are we talking to now, Sybil? It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
And so, but usually if you look at the copy, you can kind of see what it is they're trying to get across and where, what you are acting or reacting to. And even, with video game stuff, I mean, even if you're doing all the, dead guys and all that kind of stuff, it still needs to be kind of relatable and all that.
Right. So we were talking with Rena a little earlier, who is a fantastic voice actor. Do you know Rena? Have you met her before?
Hi, Rena.
Yes. I've taken a webinar from him.
There you go.
And another class.
And you're still back. What the hell were you thinking?
I told her you would be better prepared to answer this question than me. So go for it.
Well, I'm now a member of SAG-AFTRA. Mm-hmm. And so what I was wondering is, as I start to reach out and build up my video game and in-show TV narration type of career, should I first be reaching out to producers and casting directors to try to get on their rosters, or reaching out to agents? And mind you, I'm not in Los Angeles, so I get that animation. I've got to be there. Video games, I'm hearing you do and you don't.
No, video games you can be in it because they cast a very wide net. I just did a Mafia 3. They had over 300 characters.
Okay.
So they're looking, and if you listen, I did a
done by 6 guys, right?
No, but I did a webinar with Andrea Toyas from.
Yes, I was there.
Yeah, from Blizzard. And Andrea will even tell you, no, if they like you, they will figure out a way to use you. The nice thing with video games is you're always by yourself. It's not a cast.
Yeah.
So
I guess the question is as I start making contact, should I be trying to get on the rosters of casting directors and producers, or concentrating on trying to get agents first?
Well, where are you?
Nashville.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, obviously, the most apparent is regional, I mean, there's some good agents. I mean, even if you looked up at Cincinnati, is got Heyman is a pretty decent talent agent. Lynn Heyman is a great gal that's been there for years. You can, again, the union and non-union, there's an interesting, crossover. Of course, for those of you who are not SAG-AFTRA members, global rule 1 of SAG is that if you ever accept non-union work as a union member, they'll remove your left testicle or breast and put it next to Annie Bonaducci's career. You have to set that moral compass to wherever you want. Nobody can tell you. And again, it's not. I union jobs. Yes, in fact, in California, by law, a quote unquote legitimate agent has to be franchised to the SAG-AFTRA contract. Used to be 2 little piles of poop. No, it's 1 big lump of crap. Sorry, we're not recording this. Sorry. It's not for, these are not unions that, in other words, it's wonderful residuals, setting rates, that kind of thing. And the nice thing is with an agent that becomes your front line. But I would look in that area, but do it both at the same time. Don't limit yourself at all. And again, you have to draw that moral compass. Years ago, the first thing I was ever approached was the movie Baron Munchausen, going that far back. And they wanted to trade that very daughter, the adventures of Baron Munchausen. I could offer to the Englishman. He doesn't really know what he's doing. And it was like, okay, well, it's non-union. And I'm going, well, would you do it for $15,000? It's like,
yeah,
I've got ex-wife, kid in college. Shit. So again, you have to draw that line to wherever you want. Realize that with the union, it's what they are very helpful, especially if you're a gay, black, China, Asian, lesbian or something. They'll have a caucus for you, but I know that's terrible. But the reality is, honestly, the majority of the time, really the only time the DFL lab is awesome. That's a wonderful situation for people to get, with the lab, and you can go in and work out. You've got people that come in and teach there and coach and stuff. The thing is, be cautious when you are approaching, not so much agent, but if you're going to clients, feel that out and see what you want to do, because there's a lot of people. It's the same thing as like a Hollywood agent. I mean, Atlas, phenomenal. We love them. They are great. But there's a lot of people outside, like William. When I was with William Morris, if you go, oh yeah, I'm with William Morris, they go, oh shit, we can't afford it. Yeah, you can afford it. Sure you can. But there is that kind of strange dichotomy with the LA thing, like, oh well, that's all high priced, and not necessarily. I mean, there's all kinds of people that work for scale. The beauty is if you get game franchise, that kind of stuff, then you're talking double, triple, even quadruple scale if it's a character and it's an ongoing thing, that sort of thing. But I would approach anybody and everybody. Big Talent in Denver, Colorado is great. Does union, non-union. Tag Talent does union, non-union. The split off of them was from Tag Talent was Andrea left. That came out here. There's AB Squared. Does the same thing in both years. Is phenomenal up in Portland, Oregon. Stacy Stahl is wonderful. Everybody knows Eric Shepard. I mean, so get as many. It's no different really than sending out resumes. And don't send out 10 and go, well, gee, nothing's going on. Send out 200 and things will start trickling down.
Do you think the timing is important for that, Mark? I mean, do you do it when you've just booked something? Do you do it only when you've just made a new demo? Or
well, the thing is with an agent is that, when you approach an agent, don't go, I'm seeking representation. It's like, oh, red flag. What you want to do is talk up the stuff you've done. And, it's no different than hedging on a resume. You don't lie, but if it sounds, it's like, well, yes, I did star on 42nd Street when I was in the 8th grade. But the more that you can show an agent, what you want to do is create a sense that they want to jump on your bandwagon. Because the bottom line, honestly, the agents are wonderful and you love them. They're your front line. It's almost family. But the bottom line is they don't give a shit whether you are green, yellow, orange, black, gay, straight, OBGYT, IRL, whatever, all those. How much money can we make with you? That's it. How much money? They're only 10% human.
It's true.
And
because they get 10%, we always talk about that you've got to do the 90% to get future work. So
That's true.
certainly what you're doing, Reen, is the right thing. And any agent that you have a conversation with, you let them know that how I reached out to you is how I work on behalf of my own career. And I am always getting my own next work. And I would continue to do that even after you represent me. We would just be putting it through the agency.
But and exactly that, and push jobs that you've done.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, I've got a guy that was like, did a tutorial thing for the DMV, and he was talking about wanting to get an agent. I went to him and talk about, you've done a bunch of work for the state of California.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just in the presentation. But the more it's, because realize it's the same thing at the studio. If I'm hiring you or an agent's taking you on, I'm putting my neck on the line. You know, so you better be as good as you say you are, because otherwise I made the mistake one time of bringing in someone who I've never worked with at the studio, off of her demo. It was a great demo. And she came in, and this girl was the poster girl for crack abuse. I mean, she was like, just, you know, just twitchy, and I know. Okay, yeah, I know. Look, okay, yeah, I know. No, I know. And it was the director finally just said, "Geez, we can't, you know, got us assigned, we can't do this," and we had
Take a break. Yeah.
And it was terrible. It was just embarrassing, and we almost lost a client, and it was, you know. So if you're showing them you're involved with this, you are taking yourself seriously. You know, it's the same thing with the make sure demos are strong. That's your lead thing. Yes, I produced it, and it's not a thing to do that, but just that's your calling card. And it's not just, you know, like, well, I've got a great voice. It's in presentation. It's if you listen to the song, you know, "Happy" by Pharrell, you can't stand that shit. Yeah, it's like, oh, God, turn it up. But the minute that thing's in, I'm having your leg, stop it, and it starts going. You know? And because there's a hook, it draws you right in. And that's the same sense you want, is that excitement. You want to create something that's, holy shit, come here and listen to this. And it doesn't matter. It can be production elements. It can be comedy. It can be drama. I remember doing a cartoon demo for a girl that has the squeaky little girl voice. Well, obviously, the obvious stuff is Disney-esque. So to combine those, you know, the opening piece, you hear the music all tingling, and she goes, ah, like that, yawns, and you hear the door open, and she goes, "Good morning, Mr. Tree," and the tree tinkles, and she goes, "Good morning, Mr. Bluebird," and the bluebird chirps. "Good morning," and then she goes, "Good morning, Mr. Sunshine," and there's a big thunderclap, and she goes, "Hey, where's my fucking sunshine?" Now we beep that, of course, so that you don't hear her say, you know, but you can't help but go, because it's so incredibly wrong for that character. She's sweet and innocent, but it sounds like Adult Swim, so you're kind of covering both genres.
How long ago did you make a demo like that?
How long ago?
Yeah.
Not terribly.
I mean, I love that. Like, when you're writing copy to do your animation demos, do you take that real left turn path of, you're never going to see this coming?
Depends entirely on the person. I mean, that's why it's such a very, very specific to that individual. I had a girl doing a commercial demo and wrote a piece that's very, she goes, well, you know, when we were 4, we played with dolls, and you hear the little girls giggling, and at 12, we discovered boys, the giggles are a little louder and a little older. At 18, we graduated from high school together, and you hear the pomp and circumstance, and the music wells up, and you hear her go, and at 24, she died from breast cancer.
Oh, shit.
She was my best friend. Well, you can see right now, everybody goes, holy shit. Now, because you just connected. It's like, damn. Well, unless you're the most callous, cold son of a bitch, you're not going to shut it off.
Wow.
You know, it's like your attention span is like, whoa. I mean, it's right there. And that's the key with a demo, is that it's those little tricks to keep your fingers off the pause button.
Yeah.
Quality, yes. That is part of it, but there's so much more to it as far as acting goes. The other thing, too, is regardless of what you're doing, whether it's an animation demo, video game demo, commercial demo, narration, do put the stuff on there that you'd actually book.
Yeah.
You know, do you have, you know, a Lexus or Mercedes-Benz voice, or do you have a Toyota Prius voice? And that's where you need to make that delineation, kind of go, oh, okay, yeah, this works and that kind of doesn't, you know. I get demos you know, what I do a dead on Homer Simpson, dope, you know, and it's like, well, that really wasn't dead on, and Dan's not going anywhere, so it's kind of a silly thing to put on there.
Right. It's true. And so I think the presentation for people that do animation and characters and video games, it's essential that you really get their attention. But, you know, you made my first demo, really my first professional demo. Do you remember me and Arnie finding our way to Mark Grau Recording Studios?
And she's Randy, we go clear. If you know what we're doing, Hooked On, call 1-800-ABCD.
Hooked On Phonics, yeah.
That's back when they still used the alphabet. We rode horses to sessions. It was great.
Before we had cell phones, when I would actually come to your studio because I didn't have a studio and I was recording for my radio stations, and it would be on reel to reel, and we would rewind it and put it in that FedEx and overnight it to my clients. Like
5-inch box, yeah.
How quickly from 88, 90? I mean, it couldn't have been much.
Yeah.
89, somewhere in that. And look at how things have changed since 1990, let's say.
I know. I think I sat in Jell-O. Nerd. Yeah, it has changed. It just, you know, the biggest thing, like internet-wise, that is all, it's given us a very, very short attention span, even shorter than before. We're all very used to, it's no different than if you're waiting for a website to load and it does, and you're like, hell, you move on.
Right.
So you need to be rapid fire. But again, it's like animation. If it's a cutesy, we can get by doing something that's short and cute and a little laugh and you're done. If it's an emotional piece, a baby dinosaur and it's sitting by the lake and she can't find her mom and she's crying and emotional, well, that piece is going to be a little longer to set that emotion up. The whole thing is to connect with somebody. It's not just doing silliness. Remember
when what's his name? He was Carlton the Doorman.
Oh, certainly. Yeah.
His entire demo was saying hello, I believe. Back in the day. He said hello about 100 different ways.
There are a ton of different ways to do that and different ploys and neat things to do. The bottom line, honestly, is, you can get as fanciful as you want with, I love the branding concept. I understand that. But the reality is the proof is in the pudding. If you look at the guys that are, Jim Cummings, Jess Harnell, Rob Paulson, there's no branding. They are who they are. And the proof is in the pudding. Hit play and go, whoa, holy jeez, this is incredible. The other thing too is that, agents, they like a utility player. They like, if you can do a little of this and a little of that, and it's great. That means they can give you, all kinds of stuff, but that doesn't mean you have to be. Same thing, it's like singing. If you sing okay, my singing voice is not particularly good. I usually sing in character, singing about toe jam and boogers or something. Then that's fine. But I've done demos for people who have these beautiful trained voices. And in that case, you would do like the unrequited love ballad, that's very Disney DreamWorks, that kind of thing.
Wow. When I used to go to Mark to get my demos done and to use the studio and I mean, I can't believe we really did spend a lot of time together back in the 90s, mostly. But I watched you. First, I knew you as a studio owner who was doing work. You were funny. You were the comedy voice. You were doing imaging or branding, I would say, affiliate type work. But mostly I knew you as the studio owner. Then I got to know you more as the producer as well as artist. And it seems like the artist work is really full for you right now.
Well, that's kind of what the overall plan was, is that I started with the studio and to build that up to the point where I could do that more. I'm an old poop now, so I don't go into the studio anywhere near. I go in, a day a week, maybe sometimes once, twice every couple of weeks. I mean, just because the office running and it's running it. So that's kind of what the plan was.
Good. Well, the studio is self-functioning and you've got great.
Well, to an extent, when the stuff hits the fan, I get to put the waiters on and, go with it. But it's nice. I mean, like, here I'm at home and I have the full everything, you'd possibly need, And it's just, it's an interesting, it's a fun business. It's all I've ever done for 40 plus years. And, still upright. And the changes, have been dramatic. There's a lot. But the bottom line is still you want to do so. It's no different than a movie on an opening scene with music. Pull the music, or I've done that at the studio, have kids come in for a tour and change the DVDs, the music and effects. And you've got a really scary scene and change them, and all of a sudden it's not. That's why it's so important production-wise that it enhances your voice. It doesn't take away, but it really, really jumps out, and it's like, wow, you know. And that's the key with any kind of demo. It's just, what do you, and auditioning is the same thing. What can you do to stand out from the crowd? If 500 people are auditioning for that video game demo, or video game job, or an animation commercial job, what is it you're going to do that's going to, where they're going to go, oh my God, this is amazing. What sets that apart? You know?
Yeah, that actually is the question, you know?
Absolutely.
You know, some people are just better at auditioning than others. You know, and it doesn't mean that someone who's not great at auditioning can't show up and be directed and nail it. But I don't think anymore that those people really get the shot to actually do that, you know?
Well, because again, you're back to self-direction, you know, at home. I mean, that's usually where the process starts. The whole thing there is basically, with a piece of copy, the hardest part is, first off, you're looking at a written piece of copy that you didn't write, so it's not the way you would necessarily write something. It's not necessarily the way you would read something. In many instances, I don't think anybody's even necessarily read it out loud. You know, we've all done that, where the guy goes, yeah, that's a 30.
Right, exactly.
In what universe? You know, it's like, well, it's, you know, I'm glad, what am I going to say? Sunday, you know, and it's like, look, it's still 72. I mean, you know, animation, video game, with that style of stuff, don't worry about time. It has nothing to be, you know, the whole thing on that is the character. Read what's going on, again, and that's what I call road mapping. Read what's happening in between the lines. You know, who are you reacting in a game? Are you talking to a player? Are you talking to another character in the game? You know, who are you reacting to? The entire thing there is to grab that attention. I always use as an example, it's like if you're walking down the street and there's a little girl and she's sitting there and she's crying, right? You're not going to walk by and say, "What, fuck up, bitch." Well, maybe where I was for court, but
Norwalk.
the reality is, no, you're going to get down to her level. You make eye contact. You make a connection. Your facial expressions change. Your vocal quality changes because you're connecting with her.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you're trying to do with this. The difference is, they're not there to see your cute smile, this nice outfit that you have on, your wonderful personality. You're an MP3. So you need to inject as much of that into that MP3 so it jumps out at you as possible. So, and the thing with auditioning too, nothing is in concrete. I'll give you a great little trick here. Because we all read and speak English, what do? We all read left to right, top to bottom. Well, if you've got a piece of copy, let's see, here's something here. That's a great something. I'm not sure what it is. It's another dead person. Now, the lines with that, of course, if you look with video game, line. If you go down here and you go, you know what, I really like this third line, open with that. Open with the third line. If you want to do 2-3 takes of the first line, different intent. It doesn't mean different volume, different dialects. Give them different intent. They're not going to go, you know, she just read the third line. You know,
Yeah.
You know, the other thing too is throw out the punctuation.
Right.
If you see an exclamation mark, what's the first thing you're going to do? Yell.
Right.
Well, I've never, in all the years I've never heard a casting director, come here, listen to how they yell. You know, no. And you can, if you look at, you know, like evil characters, they're fun to, that's the running gag. I never play the guy next door. I play the guy that kills the guy next door.
Right.
But a lot of fun to play. But in that intense, if you look at some badass guys, Scar, or in The Lion King, or Hannibal Lecter, they're all very much like this.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that, no, you know, when I say, yes, Batman, you know, that loud, crazy, you know.
Right.
But the difference is animation is inherently going to be lighter and a little zanier because it's hitting a younger audience. Video games, no, I mean, the guy's, you know, 40 years old, you know, I'm on level 4. I've had people in interview that have gotten so pissed off at me. What happens when you get to level 2? And it's like, I don't know. oh, fuck you did that. And then it's like, God, I'm sorry. I mean, they get very, very indignant, and there's people that, there's a couple of, I've heard people say, well, you can't really do video games unless you play them. Well, that's horse padu. I don't play them. I'm too old. My fingers are too fat. You're relying on a director.
Yeah.
This is what you need to do. And so it's like, oh, okay. And it's interpreting what that is they're saying. If you want to throw in a little ad-libby stuff, especially video game and animation, go for it. Go for it, go for it, go for it. Ad-libs are great, but make sure that ad-lib is relatable to that first line and whatever the characters. An ad-lib is not, gee, I was thinking.
Right. That's
not an ad-lib. It needs to pertain to that character specifically. And if that adds stuff, then go for it. Again, auditions, the thing that we miss with voiceover auditioning is like you all hear the stories about, God, it was so weird. Brad Pitt came into that audition back when he was a kid and he was naked wearing a cowboy hat. Or, so-and-so came in full pirate regalia or whatever. And it's like, it's the same thing with this. Do something that's going to stand out. And the thing is, if you go too far, if you're like pushing too hard, that's fine. I know you have the ability to pull back from that, but I don't know you have the ability to get to that.
It's true. And I'm sure that you've listened to a million auditions where most of them are just barely average, like next.
Well, it's like, I'm just like, if you look at, copy, I'm just trying to look here and see what, I love when it's, accent, low-born, potentially maybe Cockney, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's helpful. And I love it, when you take your printer and it's like, look, it's a black block, But again, where that comes into play is when you're actually reading the copy itself with lines. And a lot of the time, it's very hard. You may only have, 5 lines to sell the casting director on.
Right.
That's it. That's what it's going to make it or break it. Now, you may have another 2,000 lines in the game, but that audition, that's it. So do 3, 4. Yeah.
If you're not able to deliver a dead-on, amazing Cockney accent, do you just do it without one, or do a bad Cockney?
Do it without it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because at this point in the process with all of this, that's why we're auditioning, because they don't know.
Right.
They have an idea of what they think this is going to sound like, what it's going to look like. But half the time, as we all know, you with an animation or sometimes if you're lucky, you'll get a character and be able to see it in description. A lot of the time you don't.
Right.
Right. Or it's some, a weird, my favorite thing, we were dubbing a Korean series.
Oh, God.
And so they go, okay, well, we'll send you the reference tracks. Whoa, what the hell? Where is that line? What the hell? Like, I don't know what you're saying,
Oh, God.
So you have to just make that your own and determine. But really, there's no right or wrong. It's just that if you make that choice, believe in that choice 1,000%.
You've got to go for it.
And that's it.
Yeah. To do anything halfway is a death knell, because everyone else, whatever level they're working at, if they're 100% committed, it's going to be better than anything you're doing if you're not taking it all the way.
It's absolutely true. I mean, if you're doing, and the physicality, it's like if you're doing, a pirate voice, you look at that. My eye gets all squinted up and I'm bent over. What's the matter with you, boy? Instead you take on that whole persona, it's that kind of a feel, the portion of it. I mean, I've had guys in the studio, it looks like he's having a seizure. But the vocal is just like, wow, it's amazing. And that it really, the acting, especially video games more so than anything, require the most acting chops of anything in VO.
Right.
It needs to be very real. If it's a dialect, it's the difference is if it's animation, and it's Irish, oh, look at that all of a sudden, it's Lucky Charms, look at that boy, whoop-de-dee-dee-die kind of thing. Well, if it's a video game, it's maybe same dialect, but now all of a sudden you're going to bring him down. You got no idea who you're fucking with, do you, boy? It's a lot deeper, darker kind of a feel to it. And
Right. So it's understanding the genre. It's being able to nail the accents. Most of this is so second nature to you, though, because you've been doing it so well for so long. And really, hanging out with Mark is like going to a
Eddie Ford.
really,
Oh, no.
no, it's like going to a great improv class. Like you never know what someone just told him he should do next. You know.
Well, but that again, I mean, that's just personal. That's just, how you are. And the other thing is don't pattern yourself after somebody else. I mean, it's great to take in all kinds of different ideas, but quite honestly, the only thing you have to bring to this is you. That's the only thing that sets you apart from everybody else is you.
Yes, do you? Everyone else is taken.
You
So,
know.
Mark, here we are. We're 3 minutes from the top of the hour.
And I've been blabbing. I'm sorry.
You're doing an animation and video game class, which essentially boils down to characters and knowing how to work with them. Like you were just saying, the Irish, oh, Lucky Charms. And then, no, he's like this guy. So I can see where, depending on the genre, what it is you're doing, how you take that accent and you go in different directions.
Or not doing one. I mean, it depends on what you're doing, like voice matching. I am absolutely hands down the worst voice matcher in the world. I mean, it's like, I'll go to the studio and go, yes, I nailed it. And we come out and go, hell no, don't send that. There's guys that do that are exceptional at it. And it's just you don't necessarily do, it's like if you want to do movie trailers, well, you don't have to do In a World, that's fine. But I mean, you've got Rena Romano, Sip. I mean, they all have that Thursday on Two Broke Girls, it's all up, and they're doing very well with that. And they don't try and do that. I remember a session with Don, because we used to do, I mean, I go back far enough, we used to do all those shitty Steven Seagal movies together.
Right.
And I remember him and then the director going, Don, I just need you to put just a hair more smile on that. And he goes, I don't do smile. He goes, if you want smile, hire fucking Mark Elliott. Which I thought Mark was
it's an all new Disney. Yeah.
Disney's most endearing characters.
Yeah, right.
That's Mark. But I just thought it was a funny, and it's true. You do what you do, and Don was the master of what he did.
Yeah.
But that's what he did. If you listen to Ashton Smith is the real butt that you hear now doing Tonight on NBC. And he's just got that balls away. It's a 10-second promo and 8 seconds of it is C. He's just got that. Well, you're not going to hear Ashton going, hey, honey, what's for dinner?
Right.
It's like me doing a kid's voice. Hi. I mean, it sounds like I'm trying to lure them into the van with a candy bar.
Oh God. Yeah. We don't want to go there.
No,
Mark.
but that's why you do what you do is all. I don't have that high. If I get like in my case, if I see a piece of a 20-year-old, I just pass on it. I'm not 20 and I can't do that. Not realistically. I mean, if it's real animated, silly, that's probably fine. But no, I would why waste the agent's time and everybody else's, and realize too, passing on an audition, it's okay. It's like the world's not going to stop. Oh my God, that's probably it. There's never going to be any more. That's all. It's like, trust me, there'll be another 20 of them in another 10 minutes.
Right. I see Maurice just asked, speaking of trailers, who are some of the great trailer coaches? Obviously, I would think, well, Mark could certainly direct on trailers. You've done enough.
Well, yeah, that it's just a different, there's breaks. It's a little more skilled because trailer copy is written as a laundry list. Because now, they don't know that what's about to happen could change their lives. I mean, that's the way. So, but you need to kind of tie all that together. The coaching portion. I mean, honestly, it's just first off, do your homework if you're going to coach to somebody. And I'm just astounded sometimes at the BS on the. It's like everybody's learned how to copy paste.
Right.
Right. I've coached everyone on Fox and PBS, ABC.
At VOMastery, I believe we have Dave Walsh. I believe Dave would be a really good trailer director. I know he can do narration extremely well. I know we have the coaches for everything one could want.
Sure.
And in fact, if you take a look at some of the master classes, you'll see everybody there. We are very excited as we bring this hour to a close. Mark, we're going to randomize and choose someone in this Zoom that's coming to VOMastery for free.
We're going to randomize?
They're already randomized.
I'll be out in a minute. I'm randomizing.
I didn't say sodomize. We said randomize.
That's the way I say. I'll be out in a minute. I'm holding my crap. Sure you are.
Hey, Randy. I got to do it one more time for you.
Oh, he's going to do his train. All right. Because he wants you to hear it, Mark. Here comes Jess Massey.
All right.
That's great. That's actually
So
really good.
that is his calling card. And we do believe he needs to do a little more work.
Well, yeah. A lot more, I tell you.
You know, that kind of stuff, honestly, sound effects are really, really cool like that. If you can incorporate that into a voice, like if, let's say it was the locomotive on a train, and you can speak and throw that and include.
Be like kind of like on above, people, come on down to West Virginia coal mine. Something like that.
That kind, but actually while you're speaking to induce that, so
okay.
Just to kind of, that would really set you like worlds apart from people, and it would be a really unique voice.
There is hope for you, Jess Massey. I'm about to reveal.
Yeah.
We put everyone's name into the.
There's my peacock.
Don't reveal it yet. I'm putting in more quarters.
Here is our winner. Are you ready? Are you excited?
Who is it?
Adam
Sharp. Adam, you're coming to VOMastery.
For free.
Where for free? Where are you
That's
from?
great.
Where do you live, Adam?
Spokane, Washington.
Wow, you just come down the coast. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, just get on a plane, you cheap bastard. Come on, Adam.
You won't be
Yeah,
driving.
well, that's a good idea.
Oh,
Great, man. That's a really, really great thing. Ray, that's very cool.
there you go.
That is very cool. Thank you.
We'll do a couple more of these between now and VOMastery. I want to thank Mark for spending some of
thank
your
you.
evening time with us.
My pleasure.
I want to thank all you guys for giving me your time, for showing up. We have so much fun with you, and I see that a lot of people wind up watching these webinars. So I thank you, everyone, for being here, for your questions, for your support. Mark, you're the greatest. I miss you and I love you. You were in the studio when I went there last week, so.
I definitely want to take that class. Oh my God.
All right, Geoff. You're in, guys. Well, thank you again.
My
pleasure. See you next Wednesday.
My God.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, Nicole. Talk to you soon.
Good night. Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Randy.
See you guys.
See you later.